What's up, my dudes? So in this episode I got Awendil from level 8 to 11, and the reason why I kind of did this level range here, I know because it's pretty random, is because I figured that after compiling all this footage and speeding it up to kind of the regular format of about 5 times the regular speed of play, I noticed that I was left with about 16 minutes to kind of explore my commentary on top of, so I figured it was pretty appropriate in that sense. I know you guys wanted longer episodes, so let me know if this is a nice spot to work with. If you want it to be even longer, then I can work with that. If you want it to be shorter, let me know. So that will be, anyways, the format for this episode as we go along. And so I just died there, as you saw. That was definitely on purpose for the sake of Vanilla Guide. It told me to die. Release a Karanos, because of course I don't have res sickness just yet. I am just about at that point where I will eventually start to get res sickness, so that will no longer be a part of Vanilla Guide very soon. But for now I'm able to like die, release a graveyards without any real penalty. Of course I lose some armor value here and there, but of course, as you guys know, the repair costs are very, very minimal. And so, speaking of costs, though, I guess as far as like just gold is concerned, something really strange happened in Ironforge, I must say, and we'll get to it once it comes along. I'll bring that up, but that's I'm kind of leaving you with a little bit of a anticipatory kind of mindset here. But when I hit Ironforge, something very strange happens, and so we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. So. Yeah, I must say, I was reminded of how much walking is needed in Vanilla WoW, at least in this episode. Now, currently I'm not really walking too much. I'm dealing with this kind of No Marigan quest. I forget what it's called exactly, but I'm killing these leper gnomes for it. And this was kind of a rough patch, only because for me, it was pretty difficult to keep myself alive. I feel like I'm getting to the point in the leveling process where I got to be more strategic about how I face mobs, you know, how I approach them, how I use my abilities, and you know, timing is a very important thing in that regard as well. So, but yeah, as we go along, that's just something I was kind of considering. And I wanted to say also that I wanted to keep these episodes a little more structured as we go along, as far as my commentary is concerned, because of course I know you guys like the whole informal aspect to it, and we're definitely keeping it that way. But I just wanted, for my sake, I wanted to be able to have a little bit more of a nice categorization of like how I should, you know, throw out this commentary here. So it's easier for me to put down notes as to what I want to say and things like that. So the first thing I think that I'll start off with is, as I've usually done, I'll just talk about what's going on with Awendil. Unless some crazy news is going on, then you know that's probably what I'll be starting with. And then of course I'll bleed off that into just notes about the series, general notes about the series, the future of this series, the future of the channel, whatever. And then if I have to, I'll go into more notes on just like Awendil and just like, you know, general things about Vanilla WoW. So I also wanted to say that as far as the structure of just the channel in general, I probably want to post videos that are more instructional, kind of in between this series, in between each of the episodes of this series, which is to say that, like, for example, for the last video that I put out, it was about leveling a little more efficiently. So that was kind of, that's an example of one of those kind of instructional videos. And I hope to keep it, you know, as kind of professional as I can on that basis, so that I'm giving you guys a lot of kind of directed and just very useful information to work with throughout your experience in Vanilla World of Warcraft. I really want to help you guys out in that sense. So and I also wanted to say it doesn't happen now, but it happens later in the episode, where I think I'm level 10 and I must be like a fourth of the way through the level, but the footage cuts off, and then I cut it back on, I guess I turn it back on when I'm just about level 11, which is to say we miss a good chunk of Awendil's level 10 experience, and that's only because my recording software kind of bugged out. But I fixed it all, so it definitely won't happen again. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. But I found the problem, so anyways, it's all good. No worries about that. So as far as the future, let's talk about the future of Awendil. I actually now have a friend that is joining the server. He was playing with me on Elysium, you know, when that was out, and so now we're on Light's Hope, and he's trying to catch up. I think he's level 9 now. Awendil is officially right now level 12, which of course I'm not making a part of this episode just yet, so there's footage pending. But yeah, so he's level 9, so he's catching up really well. He's a warrior, so not the easiest class to level for sure, but it'll definitely be worth it, as we will be able to have a tank, and of course I can heal throughout the experience, so we'll be able to go into like instances together. Our first kind of instance that we're looking at is of course Dead Mines, and right now I think Awendil is in Westfall, so that's what I'm dealing with now. So I'm kind of breezing over this experience here, but in that cave I had grouped up with someone that was I don't know what they were doing, but they were seemingly kind of selfish in the way that they acted, only because, well, you know, and we all have our selfish traits. I'm selfish, you know, whatever, in this game at times you gotta be, but it seemed that I was in the middle of attacking a mob, and they invited me to a group, and then, you know, I was like, oh sure, I'll join, it'll probably make it a little easier. And so I killed the mob, you know, after joining the group, and the person just like basically just seemingly just went up, looted the mob, and then just kind of walked away in their own direction. And I was like, aren't you gonna help? Like, we're in a group together, man. It's like, you know, so it was kind of weird. It felt like, you know, they were you know, freeloaders, if you know what I'm saying. So, oh, by the way, this is the weird part. This is where, so this paladin wanted me to, like, they invited me to this group, and they're like, hey, I want to show a friend something. And I'm like, okay. So they did, I guess, and then they just gave me a gold. I'm like, okay, I feel like I really don't deserve that, but hey, they gave me that nonetheless. I don't know, couldn't tell you why, guys. But yeah, there's a lot of people in Ironforge, a lot of people, so I think it's cool. I assume that there will be even more. I think I'm not sure exactly what the population was when I was playing right now, but it definitely wasn't at the server cap. I think these servers can handle roughly a little over like 10,000 or something like that. Because I remember I was in a queue for about 1,000, and when I finally logged in, I checked out the population, and it was at about 10,000 people, which is crazy, right? I mean, we're getting back to like the nostalgic numbers here, which is awesome. I think that's just kind of a reflection of how hyped up people are for the classic servers. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed there, but there was just like a wave of people from the left all of a sudden. I feel like they kind of just spawned in out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from, you know? It made me think that like there was an invisible tram that just like came in, and maybe it was just like phased out of the area. I really don't know, but that was kind of weird to me. I was like, should I even try to like jump on to that invisible tram, you know? And so I didn't want to risk it, just in case I was just going insane, which could have been the case, very well could have been the case. So here I am in Stormwind. Actually, as I was walking through, for some reason it kind of reminded me, oh yeah, and I grabbed the flight path, kind of reminded me of like when Nax was released, how there were like a lot of Scourge invasions on Stormwind. And man, I really hope that is a part of the classic servers when that comes out. See, I don't know if Light's Hope is going to do that at any point. I don't think Nax is released yet on this server. I can't say that officially with confidence, because I don't know. But let me know though. Let me know if it is. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, I knew that when Nax was released on the kind of, you know, retail vanilla, that was a big thing, you know, the Scourge invasions on Stormwind, so that was crazy, and man, I would love to see that again. I bet you guys would too. So looking forward to that. But the reason why, of course, I brought up my friend as far as like him leveling up to level 9 was of course because, you know, as I said, we want to run instances, and we don't really, I must admit, just ahead of time, we don't really do it in the most efficient way. We pretty much exhaust all kind of it's like all capabilities that a instance can provide for us, which is to say that we get all the possible gear that we can from it, and basically, I mean, of course, at a certain point, it's not really the best thing to do. It's not really super efficient for leveling, but we love to, I think, just milk out the experience of an instance, like Dead Mines, for example. We love to just take advantage of that time, you know, when it's useful to run Dead Mines, because later down in the leveling experience, we won't be able to really do it. So, anyways, you know, that's just to put it into perspective that we love instances, and so that's, anyways, just a little bit of a side note there. And now I wanted to say that as far as live streaming is concerned, I was told, or I was suggested, I suppose, by one of you guys to maybe wait a little bit before there's a larger audience, which I totally agree with. Totally agree with that. So I think I will wait until I start live streaming. But I don't think I can live stream on YouTube or Twitch or anything like that, because I think Blizzard is getting a little more strict on it. At least currently. I don't know if they're going to, you know, chill out a little later down the line, but for now, I mean, it just seems like they're really, you know, taking things seriously as far as like banning people from live streaming if they put out any private server content. So that I'm just kind of trying to stay clear of that, which isn't to say that I'm not going to live stream. I will probably live stream, but I'm not sure on which platform. If anything, it'll be on like a Facebook page that I admittedly haven't made yet, or maybe like another platform that I'll let you guys know about. And anyways, that'll be for a discussion hopefully soon down as we go. Now, what else? Let's see. Right, so this is where it cuts off, and that's where it like cut through level 10, like a good chunk of it. And what's coming up here is that I'm about to see a paladin. I'm about to inspect a paladin that had like a judgment, tier, like, you know, tier 2 helm on, and it was like a weird juxtaposition because they had this robe, right, that was like teal blue. You see that? It's like baby blue or sky blue. I don't know what the different kinds of blues are. It looks teal, whatever. And it's kind of a weird thing there, but anyways, Judgment nonetheless looks awesome, so that's a big thing to look forward to, I think. And really, it doesn't matter what class you are. I think pretty much like almost all the sets in just vanilla WoW are just cool in their own way. So I'm sure, you know, whichever class you guys are leveling, I'm sure you have kind of a similar mindset in that you're really looking forward to the gear that will come up. So anyways, yes, so the one thing that you did miss, I suppose, I guess the bit that you did miss, that big chunk there, wasn't much. I was in Goldshire, turned in some quests, I believe. I went to this lake nearby, killed some murlocs for like a quest for that. And then I went to Jasperlode Mine. I did that like exploration quest where you have to go inside the mine and just explore the place and then run out. And then from there, I just went straight to the LvL logging camp, which is where I'm at now. And I'm just killing just some of these prowlers, bears, and I'm collecting some of the these like little wood pieces just on the side of trees here. And yeah, so I mean that, you know, it's not a bad experience in that sense. I didn't have too much trouble as far as like competing with other people. I remember when I was on Elysium, for example, man, collecting the wood around these trees was a nightmare, I must say. And I don't know if it was because the spawn times for them were off or something like that. Probably not, but it was just, there was just so many people in this area, and I was like, God, of all places, Eastvale Logging Camp. But I suppose it is a pretty prominent place just for leveling, especially for humans. But yeah, Vanilla Guide kind of brought me to Elwyn Forest, and so I'm just going to be continuing in this area. And eventually I went to Westfall, but that's skipping ahead a little bit. But actually before that, I went and I actually was able to successfully, for the first attempt, kill Hogger. I got in a group, which was pretty cool. And yeah, we took him out. But of course, it's not in this episode. That will be coming up, I promise, in the next episode of the series. And I'm really looking forward to that. Hogger is just... For some reason, I always look forward to Hogger. That's like one of the first things I look forward to in the leveling process. And so, anyways, I don't know why. It's just, it's so cool. I think it's like the first experience where you get to group up with people and really kill like a mini boss. Shoot. Okay, I'm about to end the episode, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, bye-bye.